What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Nobody Asked But. I'm your host, Tarek Bryant, and today I wanted to talk Toy Story. You know, we just got the new official trailer for Toy Story 5 coming out yesterday or the day before that, whenever this shows up, and I, for one, am not excited. I know, believe it or not, I really am just giving an eye roll to this, even before it even announced itself, because I just can't believe Pixar is going to number 5 with this story. Like, Pixar used to be the one that came out with all kinds of original content. I mean, they were the ones who just would open up our imagination to places that we never thought that we could dream of. I remember a time when every Pixar film was a heavy hitter, one after the other, of creative stories that really stretched your mind. Now, if you couldn't tell, it does look a little different back here because we are in the middle of a big move, literally, and we're going to be coming to you at a different location, completely different state altogether. I can't wait to start making more videos in our new location. Like I was saying though, between what could be or just plain miraculous, taking us to worlds that we only dreamt of. I mean, we went to the sea in Finding Nemo. I mean, we saw what was behind our closet doors in Monsters Inc. And we even got some of the smallest stories with some of the biggest impact when you can talk about A Bug's Life. And that, for one, is one that is just still a popular one to this day. I never took the dreamers out in Emeryville to be ones who just loved doing sequels or spin-offs and stuff like that. I mean, we have how many Cars movies now, and, you know, spin-off of the Cars movies. It's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? Toy Story was a home run concept. It gave us a different perspective in what happens behind closed doors when our toys are alone. It offered different perspectives on what it means to be a loyal friend. Enjoyable moments that solidified characters into the pop culture zeitgeist. I mean, you can't say Buzz Lightyear without thinking about it. Or Potato Head.
That's Mr. Potato Head to you, you backstabbing murderer.
Or even, of course, Woody. And everyone knows exactly what you're talking about. And for 30-year-old me, well, I'm not 30, but for 30-year-olds all alike who grew up with this movie, I'm sure a lot of you are excited for Toy Story 5. But I'm sure there's another few who are just like, dude, number 5, really? Can we not just get something new? I mean, am I the only one who thinks that? And that's why I wanted to talk about Toy Story 3, because Toy Story 3 was where this story should have just ended.
Nobody asked you, bold boy.
Tex invaded our house too.
I don't know, Jesse. Toys are for play, but tech is for everything.
It's coming out in the summer. Toy Story 5 is coming out in the summer, June 19th. And I, for one, am not amused nor excited. You know, now my wife tells me this isn't made for you. And I am just like, it better be, because I was the one who was around when this first dropped, okay? I know they're making it for kids, and, you know, my son, he saw the trailer and he's really excited for it. And I'm just like, bruh, what do you know? You don't even know what you like yet. This ongoing story is one of many examples where the company wants to milk the IP for everything it's got. So let's take a look at what Toy Story 5 is going to bring us. So it seems like Bonnie is growing up, and with growing up in this day and age, the toddlers and young kids alike get that one thing that just sucks their brain and takes away their time, and that is the tablet. My God, these are the devil's playthings, okay? I do not like these things whatsoever. They cause tantrums, they cause blankness, and they don't stretch the imagination whatsoever as much as toys do. I know I'm giving proof and evidence to why Toy Story 5 should and probably will do great, because I mean, everyone's going to take their kids to go see it who grew up with Toy Story, and everyone understands the concept behind how tech can take away the children's imagination. But my God, man, how many do we need? When's enough? Enough is enough, okay? 5? You know, Toy Story 3 is where it should have just ended the franchise. It was a perfect ending to the franchise. We got a beautiful send-off for all our beloved characters, from Woody and the gang being passed down to Bonnie, Andy growing up and going to college, and plus, who could have imagined Toy Story being a prison break movie? Pixar's attention to detail, from the beautiful lighting of characters to Lotso's fuzzy, furry texture. You get the sense that they've grown a lot in their animation style. The film just looks beautiful, and the concept behind it even more. The first scene is entirely what we see Andy's imagination bringing out when it comes to him playing with his toys. And the scene is awesome, man. You get, Woody on Bullseye. You get the awesomeness of how Buzz Lightyear is, with his jetpack and then his lasers and stuff like that. Everything just looks really cool. Now, with Toy Story 3, the idea that the toys have to come to grips with, let's say, retirement is a great idea as well too. There's so much emotion within the film that it grips you at every angle, okay? It grips you like a kid who doesn't want to let go of their stuffy. It's just emotion after emotion after emotion. And you also feel for the villain too, and which I think is always a great plus when it comes to a story is if you can relate to the villain. And in this case, Lotso, with his southern hospitality that really gets you at first, and then it just takes a flip side to him being this really tortured, and it's heartbreaking to say the least what happens to him when he's just replaced, and how that creates this disdain for kids, because it's just like they don't care, they just would replace us anyways. Nobody asked me, but he also slightly has like a dictatorship going on with it too. The sunny demeanor of the daycare takes a turn to a very cold prison as the story continues. Toy Story 3, such a great story from beginning to end, so much it was nominated for Best Picture at the 83rd Oscars. One of 5 nominations, winning 2 Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song. Now again, it was nominated for Best Picture, which tells you right off the bat that this movie is special, Toy Story 3. I mean, the ending alone is enough to win over anybody. The incinerator takes me back to when I first watched it. The incinerator scene when they're falling into the pit of fire. I mean, I wasn't expecting the tears to swell up. I wasn't expecting the heartfelt moment when they reach out to each other to grab each other's hands because they assume that this is going to be the last moment that they're together. It was one of those moments where it's just like, man, this is a kids movie, but it's hitting harder than I expected.
What do we do?
That sorrowful shot of Buzz holding out his hand to his best friend in their final moments. Man, this was Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 had so much emotion in it. It was such a deeper level than the previous ones, and then the ones that come after that, in my opinion. Nobody asked me, but I believe so. I mean, how can you continue from something so pure, so impactful? Sometimes it's best to just let the story end and just let our heroes be free instead of continuing on and on and on and on and on. You have to know when to cut it, man. As Woody watches Andy drive off into the sunset, there's this feeling of completion. There's this feeling of, okay, everybody's in their right place. Everything is going to be okay. Everyone has found their next place to go on into this journey called life, Am I going to see Toy Story 5? Probably, because I have a child and he's already interested in watching it. Now, do I want to wait to see it on Disney Plus? Maybe. Or maybe we could just go see it in theaters while we're living in our new area. We'll see what happens. But as for me, dude, I'd rather keep these band of heroes in a much better position than what they are being stretched to. Okay? And Toy Story 3, nobody asked me, will always be the final journey for these ragtag group of toys. Again, this is Nobody Asked, but I'm your host, Tarek Bryant, and what about you? Are you excited for Toy Story 5? Do you think they should have left it at Toy Story 3? Leave it in the comments below and let me know what you think. Also, if you're interested in great storytelling, like Toy Story 3, check out my video where I discuss Community and their episode on Dungeons & Dragons. Beautifully woven into an episode, respectfully giving the tabletop game its due. Go ahead and check it out right here.